Homage to Amitabha Buddha and Master Yonghua. Good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining our Sunday Dharma Assembly. So, as regularly, we just finished the assembly of Buddha names recitation. So, in our practice, so the Amitabha Buddha's name recitation is one of our main practice in parallel to Chan meditation and other practice like mantra. So because the reason for that approach of our Master Yonghua, because that in this Dharma ending era, so it's difficult for people to reach enlightenment, which is the purpose of practicing Chan meditation. So that's why practicing the Buddha names recitation is like a type of insurance that help you to escape the wheel of reincarnation and to be reborn in the Western bliss pureland of Amitabha Buddha. So then you don't have to get into the lower realm of this Saha world after we die. So because the higher chance of going to lower realm, like such as the animal realm, the hungry ghosts and the hells in this Saha world. So that's why Shakya Muni Buddha introduced this pureland Dharma door to help us to escape suffering while we haven't attained enlightenment yet. So that is compassion of the body and of Buddha and Bodhisattva to help us to practice this pureland Dharma door. So yet since the time of the Sakya Muni Buddha, he spoke the Amitabha Buddha Sutra, and then in China, from many centuries later, so it was the first patriarchs in China that have to bring the practice of the pureland Dharma door to make it alive again. So that can help people in that time of China and until now. So the practice of the Amitabha Buddha's name recitation is very common among people. So, but here at our temple, in parallel with the practice of Chan meditation, we can increase the power of Buddha names recitation. So, anyone have any question, any comments before? Yeah, I will go ahead and introduce us with the first Western bliss pureland patriarch in China, which is Great Master Xian. If we have no question, then we can start. Here, please move the slide to the next slide. So that is an image of Master Xian. Yeah, please move to the next slide. So he was born in the year of 334 in Shanxi province in China. And then during his life, once he moved to the south and lived in the bounds of the Eastern Qin dynasty. And because the trends of society, Chinese society in that time, the people learn a lot about Confucianism and Taoism. So he's affected by that, and so his parents allow him to travel and to learn those religions in very early age. So at the age of 13, he already mastered most of the main religions in China at that time, including Confucianism and Taoism. So even though after mastering this religion and know the principle of those religion very well, but still he's not quite happy with not satisfied with the knowledge of those religion, because they didn't help him to solve the problem of the cycle of birth and death. So that is the question is mine, but he cannot find the answer from these religions. So that's why he continued to search for a teacher to help him to resolve that problem. So at that time, it's one great Buddhist monk is a master, Dharma master Taoan. So I think we have learned a lot about Great Master Taoan in our 4 G's through the lecture of Master Xian. We learn a lot about that. So I think certainly many of us have heard about Master Taoan. So Master Xian at that time have a chance to travel and to where the Master Taoan was lecturing the sutras in that area, and then he had a chance to listen to Master Taoan about the Prajna Paramita Sutra. So at that time, according to the document on the internet, that says that he got enlightened at that time, very young age, 21. And so that's why he took refuge with Master Taoan and become his monastic disciple under Master Taoan. So after that, he practiced very diligently to even though he get awakened to the dharma, but continue to practice very diligently. So after the 3 years practice, and then he started to be able to explain the Dharma to the assembly. So then many people started to follow him to practice. So in year 381, so he continued. He started to travel again, and while passing the Xian area in Jiangxi province, so he found Mount Lu, and he was impressed with the serenity and the size, the big size of the whole range of the mountain, and it was very secluded, far enough away from the city. So he found it's a good place to practice Buddhism. So that's why he left his Master Tawang and moved to Mount Lu and make a small temple there to start practice there. So at that time, this area had a severe drought. So people in that area suffer a lot from the drought. So that's why he has a compassion, and he, I guess he would make a platform, create a platform and recite the Sutra of the Kings of the Sea Dragons. So this sutra we were taught by the Buddha. So he recited that, and after that they just saying that there are a white dragon from the ground flew to the sky and make a lot of rain. So it eliminate the drought in the area, and after that a small spring appear in that area, and so then that he named his temple is Dragon Spring. So we can see in the picture that the area where Mount Lu is in China. And that's the real image of it. It's going to look it's very peace and nice mountain. So that time, many people come and continue to learn from him, but the temple is kind of small. So at that time, he has another Dharma brothers who practice on the other side of Mount Lu. On his side is the east, but the other side is the west. So that Dharma brother invited him to go to the Dharma brother's temple in the west side to cultivate together. But because that temple is also small, and his followers, Master Huaiyuan, followers, keep the size bigger and bigger, and then even that temple on the west side cannot fit the people, so he didn't move there. So, but then an official in the local government in that area so helped him build a temple, a big temple, to name the East Forest Temple. And then since that time, more eminent monks and famous scholars from different regions came to East Forest Temple to practice. Also, in that area, there are a lot of poisonous snakes that harm and kill many locals there. But then when after the temple was built, then the snakes become unharmful, and they came to listen to his lectures. Actually, we heard a lot of story about when a good monk practices, snakes follow and practice. That's kind of scary. A famous Vietnamese temple there too. There in the I think somewhere in the middle of central Vietnam and southern Vietnam, between Da Nang city and Saigon city, Ho Chi Minh city. So they're in the rural area, but then around that temples have a lot of tombs and snakes. But that people video interview the two bhikshunis practicing in that temple. When they recite, when they do ceremony and recite Buddha's name, the snake, the green snake, a lot of them in that area, that poisonous snakes, they came up to the roof and they just drop themselves in the middle of the Buddha. And they do that during their ceremony, and that's very scary. And even their beds and the kitchen, there's snakes everywhere. But those bhikshunis are very tough, and they just stay in the temple. But the snake didn't bite the bhikshunis; they just listened to the sutra and ceremony. They were unharmful, and the bhikshuni keep staying there and continue to practice in that temple. So it's not so common, but then it happened to monks and nuns who practice diligently. They experience snakes in their practice a lot. And then because of the political environment of China at that time, the government didn't favor Buddhism that time. So official name xian. So I think sent to a master Yuan 2 documents to demand the reduction of Buddhist practices and the quantity of monks in the temple. Actually, not just in that temple, but like the whole country under the government of that dynasty at that time. So, but then they blame that Buddhism was unbeneficial to society and then unpractical. So that's why they try to reduce the practice of Buddhism in the whole country at that time. But then Master Yuan responded by sending letter and to deny the blame, and so somehow they agree with him, and then they don't apply that regulation to the whole province of Jiangxi. So and also the same. So at that time, the king of the dynasty had some time to travel to that province, and the same official and send documents to force monastics to bow to the king. But once again, Dharma Master Yuan and wrote it's not like a book, but there's some short documents, including 5 chapters, to reject their demand of monks bowing to the kings. But then the king and the dynasty somehow accept he argument, and they didn't have to do that. The monk didn't have to bow to the kings at that time. So that is a very famous document of Master Huai Yuan. And so, anyone have any question, any comments so far? Sorry, somehow I cannot see the screen. So I don't know what's happening at the other temple. Sorry about that. So then, even though his Master Huai Yuan very successful in meditation practice, and he when having time, he asked his disciple that those of you who are cultivating at his temple, why didn't they want to be reborn in the Pure Land? So that's why he started resuming the practice of the Pure Land Dharma door. So he seek for good artists at that time, and they helped him to and his disciple to build 3 big statues of the 3 sages of the Pure Land, of Amitabha Buddha, Guan Yin Bodhisattva, and Dashuchu Bodhisattva in the temple, and they started practice reciting Amitabha Buddha's name. So on the celebration of the finishing of the statue, so they formed Master Huai Yuan and his followers created the Wise Lotus Society, and including the 123 of his disciples. So that was the first group of Chinese Buddhists in history that vowed to practice the recitation of Amitabha Buddha's name and to be reborn in the Western Bliss Pure Land. So basically, I read the document on the internet. Basically, they just do what we do nowadays in our assembly. They recite, they circumambulate and sit and recite Buddha's name, and to have to enter the samadhi of the Amitabha name's recitation. So that's the purpose of that, and so with the hope that they can be reborn after their life ends. So Master Huai Yuan can also ask his disciple Yimin to write out the verses for vowing to attain rebirth to the Western Pure Land, and carve that verse into stone. So everyone in that society, the White Lotus Society, practiced that method diligently, and then they experienced the vision of Amitabha Buddha and the sagely assembly while they're in samadhi. So the document said that not just several people, but then the people in the whole assembly experience that. So that show the success of practicing that Dharma law at that time. And then during the time, and some people of the that society, it's time for them to at the end of their life, so they, because of the practice, so they were able to get rebirth in the Pure Land with auspicious signs. So anyone have any question or comments? So I think one of the one of the auspicious sign of people going to the Pure Land is with the fragrance, the fragrance in the house where where the people pass away, the person who passed away. So, oh yeah, I remember when my late wife passed away, and then at that time family requested a rebirth plaque. I think for 49-day plaque for her at that time. At that time, I didn't request that, but my sister and brother requested. I didn't request that time, but they helped. And then I think at the 5th week of during the 49 days periods, and because we have an altar of her in my apartment at that time, and then after we spread her remains, and then at the next morning, and then I didn't sleep that time, but then there a fragrance because I stay in the room in the back of the house, the apartment, but the altar is in the front of the house. So, but the fragrance is come from to the back of the house, and then I never had that smell that fragrance before in my life. It's not like flower smell or incense smell. It's nothing like that. It's not cologne either. So it's quite unique. And so I start going to the front of the altar. I check the altar to see anything that can have that smell. But I didn't see the flower there, but it doesn't smell like that in the fragrance. I didn't light any incense that time, so I couldn't explain why. But then, yeah, that's a fragrance. I smell. I remember. I wish I can somehow record that the smell, to smell it again, but yeah, it's impossible. So it's quite. It give an impression in my mind. Number 5, please.
Amrita from Assisi. How about your grandma? When she passed away, did you have any scent, that kind of smell?
No, she has a black hair. I didn't experience any. Yeah, a lot of black, so I don't know. Yeah, but I didn't actually hear. I didn't smell any different fragrance at all. Yeah, not at temple. Anyone have any question? Yeah, Waymon Temple, please.
Dạ con chào thầy.
A Di Đà Phật.
Con muốn hỏi, A Di Đà Phật, con muốn hỏi là khi mà mình tu niệm Phật á, thì sau cái thời khóa mình niệm hồi hướng xong, rồi mình có cái nguyện là mình cầu vãng sanh thế giới Tây phương cực lạc, mà như mình nguyện cầu sanh cực lạc rồi, con thấy hình như con nhớ có lần con nghe cái bài pháp của Hòa thượng Tiên Hóa nói là mình phải có cái phát Bồ Đề tâm, có nghĩa là một cái nguyện của mình là mình phải độ ai đó, hoặc là mình nguyện thành Phật để độ chúng sanh, tùy duyên. Thì cái nguyện đó mình có thể lập cái nguyện đó được không thầy?
Hello, Master. I wanted to ask a question. When we recite the Buddha's name after a time and we transfer the merit and we make vows to go get rebirth to the Pure Land, but then if we ask to get rebirth to the Pure Land, I remember that there is something about someone taught that Master Xunhua had taught that if you bring forth the Buddha mind and if you try to cross over someone and make those vows to help all living beings based on conditions, then can we make those vows? Is that okay to do so?
Okay, thank you for the question. And anyone have any ideas about that? I think in the when we do the evening ceremony, in the after we circumambulate after the praise of Amitabha Buddha, and then we recite the Jingtu Wan, the vow to be reborn in the Pure Land. So it to help other beings, one is a part of the verse. It's part of it. So I think it's good to have that kind of to bring forth the body mind to save all living beings. So if you can do that, so that's good for the practice.
Dạ con cảm ơn thầy. Dạ con với cái câu chuyện mà nãy thầy nói là có cái mùi hương á, thì trước khi mà Thùy là con gái của con tìm ra được thầy Vĩnh Hóa thì trước đó khoảng chừng con nghĩ chắc khoảng chừng 1 tháng trước hay 2-3 tuần gì con không có nhớ rõ, thì cái nơi mà cái tượng của Đức Quan Âm nhỏ lắm, là hồi đó của con gái con hay thờ, thì con và ông xã con đi tới đó thì nghe cái mùi hương trầm rất là thơm ngát luôn, mà nó nồng lên, mà đi chỗ khác kiếm xung quanh nhà thì không có, mà chỉ ngay nơi đó thì là cái mùi hương trầm đó. Và khoảng sau chừng một thời gian, con nghĩ chắc 1 tháng hay mấy tuần con không nhớ, thì lúc đó là con gái con đã tìm được hòa thượng, tìm được thầy Vĩnh Hóa và đi theo thầy tu cho tới bây giờ. Cái mùi hương nó rất là thơm, nó rất là lạ. Thì có phải là cái mùi hương đó của chư thiên đến rải không thầy? Dạ, Như Đà Phật.
Thank you, Master. In regards to fragrant smells, there was a time before Tui, my daughter, had found Master Yunghua, and maybe about a month before, I had smelled maybe 2 to 3 weeks. I'm not sure exactly, but there is a small statue that we have at the house that my daughter used to pray to. And there was a time during that time when my husband and I had smelled a very strong incense smell in that area, and it came up as we were in that area. I'm not sure what kind of smell it is, but during that time was when later on was when my daughter had found Venerable Yunghua and continue to cultivate with him. So that smell is very unique, and I'm not sure if it was because heavenly beings had come down to drop that upon us. We could not figure out where that smell came from.
Honestly, I don't know. I don't have the spiritual eye to see that. But I think it's a good sign. Yeah, it's a good sign that that fragrance appear in the house. So I think that can strengthen our faith in the practice. Yeah, I don't have spiritual eye to see that.
Dạ, con cảm ơn thầy. Di Đà Phật.
Okay.
Dạ.
Anyone
Master.
else? Any questions? So here in our practice, as Master Yonghua, that the practice of reciting Amitabha Buddha's name. Oh, go for a question, please.
Hello, thưa số 5 trả lời phải không thầy? Thưa thầy, theo cái kinh nghiệm về cái mùi hương đó, thì ở đây tôi cũng xin nói là có một cô hỏi là bà ngoại của thầy đó có một cái dấu hiệu gì đã được vãng sanh hay không? Thì xin thưa thầy, bà ngoại thì không nghe mùi thơm, nhưng mà cái cô cháu dâu đó thì thấy bà ngoại về cười với cổ rạng rỡ lắm. Đó là một cái dấu hiệu của cái sự tốt đẹp mà bà đã nhận được. Và ngoài ra đó, tôi có một cái cô cháu. Cái cô cháu này cũng ra đi, cũng nhờ thầy giúp giùm. Thì cái cô cháu này mới có 7 tuổi thôi. Thì có một cô cháu đi một thời gian tôi không nhớ là bao nhiêu. Nhưng mà khi tôi đứng tại cái chỗ bếp đó, thì tôi vẫn nghe cái mùi thơm. Cái mùi thơm rất là nồng, mà rất là lạ, không có một cái mùi nào có thể nói được. Thì lúc đó tôi mới chạy ra ngoài, tôi tìm cùng hết coi có chỗ nào có hoa nở để mà có mùi thơm hay không. Thì không có một cái hoa nào hết. Thì cuối cùng tôi vô lại, tôi đứng lại ngay cái chỗ bếp đó, tôi nói bà nội chắc là cháu mới đang về thăm nhà có phải không? Nếu mà cháu đang về thăm nhà, cháu cho bà nội hửi lại cái mùi thơm đó một lần nữa đi. Thì tôi lập tức nghe lại cái mùi thơm đó một cách mạnh mẽ. Thành ra cái đó nếu mà quý vị có người nào mà ra đi mà có mùi thơm, quý vị nghe được cái mùi đó, quý vị nên mừng. Đấy. Nhưng mà cái hướng dẫn theo tôi biết thì là có thể cho mình cái dấu hiệu rất nhiều cách, không phải chỉ là mùi thơm không. Yeah. Đó là ý của con thầy. Dạ, đó kinh nghiệm ở trong gia đình.
Number 5, responding. Hello, Master. Based on my experience with frequent smells, I'm not sure about when my maternal grandmother or your maternal grandmother passed away, if there was any impression or any signs as to whether they went to the Pureland. And I'm not sure about the smell, but when the niece, in-law, so there was a sign of the maternal grandmother in her dream smiling at her. That is a sign that that's a good sign. Outside of that, I also have a niece that had passed away and got help. I was in the kitchen and I smelled a very unique scent. During that time, I ran to them outside and told to see if there's a flower or anything that could cause the smell. But when I came back inside, I could not find anything that caused that smell. So I told my niece, if you are here visiting, please give me the sign again and let me smell it again. So I was able to smell it one more time very strongly, and the scent was very strong. So I think that there's a lot of signs when people pass away that we get, and they appear in different ways, and it's not just always scent or fragrant scent. That is my opinion on these experiences from my family.
Okay, thank you for sharing your experience. I didn't know that even I was a member of the family, just know until now. Okay, that's good. So in our practice, beside the practice of recitation of the Amitabha Buddha's name to help us to achieve the state of one mind, single minded state, one mind recitation. So that help us to the Buddha can that help us to recite 10 times of Buddha name, and then we can have the Buddha and the assembly come to bring us to the pureland. So the other way Master emphasizes that will create blessing and get condition with someone who have a good credit with Amitabha Buddha, so that can help you to go to the pureland too. So that's another way. So we go back to Dharma Master Huai Yuan. So he, according to the documents, during his lifetime, he experienced the appearance of Amitabha Buddha 3 times, and then he didn't talk about that until the last time was the 4th time, and which was 7 days before his rebirth. So on the 6th day of that 8th lunar month of year 416, and with the help of the assembly, and he was sitting upright and meditate, and he attained rebirth in the Pure Land with the highest grade. So according to the document. So that's all about just very brief introduction of our first Pure Land patriarchs, Dharma Master Huai Yuan. Anyone have any question, any comments? So if not, then we can stop here today, and thank you for joining the Dharma talk. Just right.